All right, guys. I got myself a new megaphone. Protesting at City Hall. Here's the deal. City Council, Mayor Revere, everybody has turned their back on me. They're going to allow a homeless shelter to be built on my street, and I am finding ways to stop it myself. But I'm pretty pissed off at the city. This recording probably won't be that long, but we're going to express our opinion and frustration because I am a dad that is frustrated, and I'm trying to find every way I possibly can to put an end to having this homeless shelter built on my street. And I think I found out how to do it. So I'm here to tell the mayor that I did his job. Here we go. Ha! Ha! Hey! Look what I got. I got a new toy. Been a while. I needed an upgrade on my megaphone. Thank you for giving me the excuse to go out and buy a better one. Hey everybody, my name is Anthony Pazziali. I live at 51 Arcadia Street, right here in Revere. Lived there for 10 years. It's a beautiful beach community where kids live, there's businesses, good people. Unfortunately, the city council and the mayor don't care about you or our community. They don't care about my 8-year-old daughter. But I'm here to let everybody know what I know so that you know. They want to put a homeless shelter on my street. They have been telling me there's nothing they can do to help. What that means is they don't want to help. Turns out that there is a small window of time for them to negotiate with the people that are trying to buy it. They could help us out and negotiate with them to see if they will build something else. Funny thing, yesterday I was told that the property had already been bought and it was set in stone. But thank God, I work in real estate too. So I went, it's pretty simple. You just go to the Suffolk County Registry of Deeds, and you can see that the property hasn't transferred yet. And then if that's, maybe they didn't file. Maybe they didn't put the paperwork online yet. So then you can just call the city and you can ask, hey, has a municipal lien certificate been asked for? Has that been filed? And it hasn't been yet. Well then, as a real estate investor, I reached out to the realtor and I said, I'd like to make a backup offer on the property, which I did. And I found out that the P&S is contingent to the developer put a clause in the purchase and sale contingent to whether or not the city approves the project. So what that means to me is you guys can put a stop to the sale. You could say no. You could find a way to say no, or you could find a way to get the developer to do something else. But I'm going to handle it myself because P&S's, they have a time limit. The P&S will expire, and I'm going to appeal because the building inspector is going to let it go. I'm going to appeal to the zoning board, and then I'm going to appeal to the state. I'm going to appeal it so long and just long enough for the P&S to fall through, and then I'm going to buy the property. I'm going to buy it. I'll do your job. I'll take care of it. I'll make sure my kid's safe because you won't. But let me tell you something. I'm not going to forget. Once I beat this, once I keep this homeless shelter off my property, and I don't know if you're running for re-election, if the mayor is, or who is for city council, I'm not going to let the people of the city know that when I needed your help, I had to do the investigating. When I needed your help, I had to step up. When I needed your help, you guys all turned your back on me, and you turned your back on my daughter. And let me tell you, it doesn't stop with the mayor. The city solicitor, I'm on you too, buddy. I got you. Made a phone call today. Board of, what do you guys call it? I have no clue because I'm not an attorney. Whatever board that you guys can report to, yeah, I called about you. Yep, the Board of Ethics, I called. I reached out to the Inspector General too. Talked to investigators in all departments because I think there's something fishy going on in City Hall. I don't see how an attorney can represent a developer but also be an employee of the city. Sounds pretty, wait a sec, smells. And my dad told me as I was growing up, if it looks like crap and it smells like crap, it must be crap. And understand, guys, I don't care what you do to me. I don't care who you turn on me. I don't care if you have the police department at my house every day. I don't care if you ticket me every day. I don't care if you sue me for libel. I do not care. I will go to jail for my daughter to make sure there is no homeless shelter there. So yes, I will call investigative services. I already did the 3, and I will say you guys are colluding because it looks like you are, smells like you are. Campaign donations from the attorney to you guys, him working for the city, him working on over 30 projects. Didn't want to go there, but I guess I have to. So I called the Attorney General's office, talked to somebody there, and then I talked to the other 3 agencies that you report these types of instances to. I'm not going away. Even when I stop the homeless shelter myself, you're still on my list. You're still not my friend at all. Please understand, you did not help me, and now I'm going to make it my job to make sure you find another job. Do you understand? I'm going to make it my job to ensure that the city of Revere understands that its mayor and its city council do not care about you. To take it a step further, there are people that work in this building that don't know the difference between the law and what's right. Sometimes the law isn't right. Sometimes it takes somebody, a man. Sometimes it takes leadership to stand up against laws that are not right, that do not make sense for a community. That's what you're supposed to do. And you have failed to do it, and therefore you have turned your back on your community and on the people that live in this community. The funny thing is, I had a conversation last night with my wife. My wife and I were talking. She said, hey, are you going to go protest at their houses? And you want to know what's funny? I said, you know, Kay, I don't know if I would do that. She's like, why not? And I go, because I know the mayor has kids, and I don't want to wake his kids up at 1 in the morning. And I know some of the city councilmen have kids, and I don't want to wake their kids up. I don't know if I could be as low as they are to mess my kid's life up. I don't know if I could step that low to go to their house and treat their family with disrespect. I'm not that type of guy. So I'll stick here. I'll come to the city hall, and I'll complain, and I'll show up at events, and I'll show up at ribbon cuttings, and I'll show up to anything that they're doing publicly with my megaphone, and I will voice my opinion, and I will complain. And I will continue to complain. And I will try to get your cell phone numbers from people. That's great. Oh, wait. Here's the great thing. I don't like to talk about this a lot, but luckily, in my previous job, I met a lot of people. For a really long time, I was in a position where I got to meet tons of people, and people that I don't even know, that have reached out to me that want to help me, and people that might even be your friends that have started giving me cell phone numbers for some of you. So when you start getting phone calls from me, 50, 60, 20, 30, 40, 100 of them a day, you can thank your buddies who are helping me out because they know that you don't care. They know that you turned your back on your constituents. They agree with me. It's great. It's great to have friends. You guys have friends in there, I know. You guys are buddy, everybody's high-fiving. Oh, we're gonna put that homeless shelter on Paziali Street. Woo! We got them. It's funny, because I know some people too. And now they're starting to come out because they understand. They saw me protesting the other day. They reached out. So we will be getting together shortly. I guess I would say this. Right now, it's just me. Just me. But soon, it will be many. And it will be a lot of people. And it will be coming at you in all sorts of ways that you don't like it. No, I won't infringe on your family time like that. Well, you know what? Let me be honest. I won't yet, because I'm confident that I'm going to resolve this problem through litigation. That I'm going to extend. I mean, well, you know what? Here, let me back it up. Why don't I just say this? If the mayor's in there, or if his people are in there, and they're listening. Here's my advice. Now, I'll give some advice. I plan on holding up the seal of the property as long as I possibly can, so that the contract expires. I have been in touch with the people that represent the current owner of the property, and I have put in an offer. I am willing to push this off. I'm willing to move on and let it go if you guys talk to the current owners, or to the people, to the developers, you know, the guys that own the collision center over on North Shore Ave, which, by the way, I will be protesting out in front of there, because I'm going to be straight up honest. The owner, coward, sent his wife out to talk to me. What a coward. Couldn't come out and have a conversation with me. Couldn't just sit down with me. And I asked for a meaningful conversation. Let me tell you something, bud. You come to my house, I'm not sending my wife out. I'm coming out, because I'm a man. Because I have leadership. Because I care about people. So simple. You have a small period of time to work with your buddies, with the attorney and the builder, to do something in an alternative manner, or I will tie up the contract, I will tie up the P&S, I will tie it up. Oh, and by the way, I have another way I'm going to tie it up. It's funny. I have a dumpster company, and you know, I forgot, but I did some work on that property. I actually did junk removal. I cleaned some stuff out of the house, and I never got paid. Never got paid. Filed today for a mechanic's lien on the property. Put in some paperwork for that. I'm going to tie that sucker up the best I can. And I'm telling you, I'll go away, I'll disappear if the builders agree to do something else. I'll leave it alone. You'll never hear from me again. I'll go back on Arcadia Street, I'll disappear, and I'll enjoy my time on that amazing beach and hang out at Bianchi's eating pizza, and I'll never bother you guys again. But if you don't help me make it go away, then I'll tell you, I'm going to be up in your face. I'm not violent, so I'm not going to say that. I'm just going to be a pain, and I'm not going to go away. And I'm going to continue to call. I'm going to call you. I'm going to call every city councilman again. I'm going to call the building inspector. I'm going to call the Treasury's Department. I'm going to call the collector. I'm going to call the solicitor's office. I'm going to call you guys. And all the events that you have, I'm going to show up. I'm going to be the guy where everybody's like, oh, this guy's here again? That's right, because I'm a dad, and I care about my daughter, and you guys turned your back on my daughter, and I'm not going to stand for it. I'm not. So there you have it. There's the simple answer. Let's make this go away. Let's work on a positive outcome. Here's the positive outcome. You reach out to D'Ambrosio, and you say, look, Paziali's not going to let it go. He seems like he might have found a way to tie up the contract. What he's planned to do is to appeal every decision. He plans to appeal the conservation. Listen, I'm going to appeal the building inspector. I'm going to appeal the zoning board to the state. I'm going to appeal the conservation to the state. I'm going to tie it up so that the P&S expires. And I'm already in touch with the guy who owns the place. And I told him that if he could back out of the contract, every single person on this street would sign an affidavit saying we are in favor of him building. And then I'll go and I'll get the council. You know what? I don't even care if you guys, I don't need your help. I don't. Plain and simple, I need you to tell them I'm willing to go away and let it go if they build something else. It's that easy. And if they don't build something else, I'm going to make it real difficult for them to do business. I'm going to stop boycotts at their business. All the businesses they own. I think they own a restaurant. They own a construction company. I'm going to make it difficult for them to do business. I'll find out who their vendors are. I'll go to their vendors. And I'll make it a huge pain in the butt for them to do anything. Anything I can do within my legal rights to be disruptive, I am going to be. Anything. It's really not something I'm going to let go. Someone says, hell no, we won't go. It's a little bit worse than hell no, we won't go. So it's going to start like this. I'm going to assume I'll do a good job and I'll get it stopped myself. But if I don't, since you like homeless people so much, I'm going to start a homeless, you're going to have a nice little tent city outside of the city of Revere. And then when you have them removed, I'm going to remind everybody that you guys were okay with putting them on my street, but not out here. And it's funny how quick a tent city can pop up outside of a city hall. All it takes is to grab, go somewhere, whatever, pay them a couple $100 to come over here. They get their friends, throw some tents out here. Have them walking, have them out in front of City Hall doing drugs, out in front of City Hall shooting up, out in front of City Hall getting drunk. You guys will look real good getting them removed. That'll look real good for you. Oh, look at, no, the mayor doesn't want the homeless in front of his place, but Paziali's, it's okay. That'll look real good. And you want to know one other funny note? What's funny? When I was talking to the Mass DEP, and I was asking about conservation, and I was asking about conservation deals with the water, but I was also asking about animal protection. It's funny that you guys care more about a piping clover than you do about my daughter. If there were piping clovers hatching eggs on that property, you guys would stop it. You'd be like, oh no, we can't hurt the piping clovers. But Anthony Paziali's daughter, no, who cares about her? Who cares about the neighborhood kids? But the piping clovers, we gotta save them. We gotta save the piping clovers. They're important to the humanity of Revere. My God, the piping clovers. My daughter is way more important than any animal, any salamander, frog, or bird that might be living in that backyard. My daughter is more important than any 100-year flood plan. My daughter, and I don't care if you like it, is more important than a homeless person to me. She is the most important person to me. Makes me sick to my stomach that you as a father don't sympathize. I question everybody's leadership inside that building, from the employees to the elected officials. This place is nothing but a boys' club. And there's a lot of women in there, so maybe it's a boys and girls club, where you guys all get along and you say, he's called like 1,000 times. It's 82 Arcadia problem again. And it's going to continue to be a problem. Because you guys think that homeless people, are you kidding me? Are you really? Do I even have to say it? 8 years old. 8 years old, bro. 8 years old. All right, I'm going to go. I'll leave you alone for the day. There, now you know what I've done. So let's recap. And then I'll go home. The recap is this. The property has not transferred yet. So you're still, and it's not going to happen until the end of the month, by the way. I can fight to block what they need to hold off the P&S and hopefully that it expires. Or you could go and negotiate and get them to agree and sign something saying they're going to build something different and then it goes away. Simple. If it doesn't go away, then I continue down the path that might get me in trouble, but I don't care. I'll go down the path, and I'm not talking about violence, and I'm not that type of person, but I got no problem calling the Attorney General and to continue to call the investigators at the Inspector Generals or at the Ethics Board and say that there's something crazy going on here, and I want you to investigate. I'll call them every day. And even if you're not doing anything, that stink ain't gonna leave you alone. That's all over you. And I know what you'll say, oh, he's just a mad dad. I don't care. And sometimes where there's smoke, there's fire. Sometimes when you open up the door to people looking in and they go, how can the attorney that represents the developer also work for the city? How is it that that same attorney donates up to $1,000 to some people that are elected officials? How's that possible? How is that not collusion? How is that not a problem? How is that not a conflict of interest? It smells, bud. It smells. It stinks, and you know it. And the easy way to get me to go away is to get the homeless shelter off my street. Have a good day, bud. I probably won't be back tomorrow. I gotta work. But I'll see you this weekend at the Ribbon Cut on Revere Beach for the new restaurant. I'll be there. And I'll be at most of your public events until this thing goes away. See ya.